In case you missed the latest, wearable tech is in, and the Samsung Galaxy Gear has beaten the mythical iWatch to the shelves, but at £300, can it justify that price tag? Luckily, the Gear isn't as chunky as the pictures suggest, and we quite like its light metal construction and visible screws, while that fairly inconspicuous bump is its camera. With its 1.6-inch 320 by 320 Super AMOLED display, text and icons aren't as sharp as we're used to, but given the Gear acts as a secondary screen, it's sharp enough for the job. And the main problem with the Gear is that it's currently only compatible with the Note 3, although we can expect an S4 update soon. In order to automate the Bluetooth pairing of the Gear to your smartphone via NFC, you need to connect it using a bulky plastic case, although it's easier to just pair them up with a quick passcode. That unattractive plastic case charges it too, which could prove inconvenient for charging on the move. Now, once connected, your phone will automatically download and install the Gear app, which lets you easily change its theme, install apps, and manage notifications. A flick of the wrist does a good job of automatically turning the Gear screen on, but we found ourselves shaking our wrists on a number of occasions to wake it up. Then there are notifications, which are completely customizable. You can read messages in their entirety, open them on your phone, or craft a reply using S-Voice. On some occasions, though, it took up to 20 seconds for a message to reach the Gear, and there's no option to delete messages directly from the watch. Now, the Gear will recognize basic voice commands such as call home or open music player, but dictating anything more than a simple text message usually results in frustrating errors. But for basic tasks such as short messages or checking the weather, S-Voice delivers most of the time. And if you choose to use this feature in public, you do so at your own risk. The same goes for making and receiving phone calls. While it can access your contacts and has a dialer, we can't see anyone actually using its loudspeaker function over a Bluetooth headset. The Gear's music controller app does a decent job of letting you change the tracks and adjust volume, but the controls disappear after the screen turns off, which can get annoying. And you can't browse through your songs, albums, or playlists. The Gear's pedometer app is a genuinely useful bit of tech though, and syncs up with Samsung's S Health app. But there's no GPS, so you'll still need to have the Note with you. Now, the 1.9 megapixel camera is what sets the Gear apart from its rivals. Snaps taken in good light are decent and good enough for Facebook, but the lack of flash obviously means low light shots suffer. And remember, that shutter sound can't be turned off. 15-second 720p video recordings are also perfectly passable, just don't switch between areas of bright and low light too quickly. And remember, both photos and videos cannot be shared directly from the watch. Then there's the Gear's App Store, which is disappointingly sparse, with fancy clock skins being about as exciting as it gets. But there are useful apps like Evernote and Runtastic, as well as Find My Device, which instructs the connected phone to ring to locate it if lost within Bluetooth range, and also works the other way around, letting you find your Gear if you've misplaced it. Now, usability-wise, the Gear takes a little getting used to. Swiping down from the main watch screen opens up the camera, while swiping down in any open app or menu acts like a back button. Swiping up from the main screen brings up the dialer, while a long press of the power button brings up the power and watch mode options, which is useful, but displaying the battery level would have been great. And with moderate use, the Gear dropped to 63% from a full charge after 8 hours, which is pretty respectable for a smart device. Worse is the impact it had on the Note 3's battery, which went from 100% to 20% in the same period of time. And while you can rearrange the order of the menu icons from the Gear app, you can't do it on the Gear itself. And swiping through the menus and apps is a bit of a pain, with multiple swipes and taps required to get anywhere. It's a decent first effort in a pretty package, but its limited compatibility to Samsung products coupled with usability niggles and a lacking app store means it makes it very hard to justify that price tag.